Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Legend of Dragoon. And last time we had a bit of a disfigured episode. We'll put it that way. I ended up stopping my timer at some point when I was doing backtracking, forgot to turn it on, so that's why I had to split the last episode into two parts and why the last actual part was so short. But if we continue on through here, we find that Shirley has been waiting for us. Yeah, we kind of know that already. Why is she here? Exactly. Hey, the dialogue is realistic. Or at least realistic compared to my thoughts on this situation. Ascended to heaven. That's one of the only biblical, direct biblical terms used in this game. Kind of odd that they take till, the end of the third disc. By the way, this is the end of the third disc. Actually, this is the disc 3 finale. But there won't be, won't be too much action this time. I got one more enemy to show off, and then we can move on with the plot. What do you need to take care of here? What's over there? Trapped souls alone. What trapped souls? Rose, you seem to have some idea of who she's referring to. 4 souls of the Dragoons who lost their lives. Huh. Drawn to Mayfield. Well, where the hell's Mayfield? Why isn't that in red? It's probably not important. It basically is the world of the dead. I'll just tell you that now. It's not a spoiler. The Death City Mayfield, yeah. And so yeah, it's not exactly like the world of the dead, hell or anything like that. It's an actual place. It's not a mythological place. It is a physical location in this world. And yeah. So apparently it was destroyed, but the gate of the Inferno is open. Their souls inert, huh? There is a limit to your power. Apparently you're flashing. After you meet Diaz, visit this place again. Lead their souls to heaven. Well, we should be able to do that as soon as we go talk to Diaz, right? No. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, this is a point of no return for quite some time. The first half of disc 4, pretty much, before we'll be able to do anything. We're stuck in a pretty good sequence. Well, I guess that's not necessarily true. There is a very short period where we'll be able to move around in the middle, but after that we're kind of stuck. Anyway, let's go find Diaz. But before we do that, let's head up here. The reason we want to head up here now is because there's one thing we can pick up here. Can't do anything else, but we can pick up one thing. Now, hopefully this is the new enemy I've been looking for. And it is. Look at that. This is, checking notes, Maximum Volt. There you go. Now, this guy uses magical attacks. And that is Bone Crush if I haven't shown it off yet. And here's 5 Ring Shattering if I haven't shown that off yet. Ah, I screwed it up. I don't like 5 Ring Shattering. I find the timing on the last button press always, well, it doesn't always give me issues, but it gives me issues more than a lot of other additions do. Hashels in general just seem to give me issues. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the timing of his strikes versus the noise that he makes when he attacks the enemy is slightly off from the other characters, but who knows? Maybe it's just me. Anyway, there's a small hole here, and here we collect Stardust number 46. Yes, good. So yeah, that's your final Stardust count for disc 3, 46. All of these other doors, areas here, don't do anything. You can go in here and I'll show you what happens when we go in here, but... Oh! There's a Dragoon there. What is life? What is death? Making them inert. Basically that they're useless. That's why it doesn't recognize us. Why would it recognize us, as in more than, you know, just you, Rose? Maybe because they're also Dragoons? Who knows? We haven't really been able to recognize any other Dragoons yet. But yeah, we can't do anything with this area right now. So I'm just going to, I'll cut down to where we saw Shirley there. And we're back. I just wanted to get all the way back here because there's 2 battles there off screen and the encounter rate in this area is actually quite high. So wanted to do that, avoid having to cut out multiple parts. And also, if you come back to this point again, we get, not that it's announced, but we get a free heal. As you can see, full HP, full MP, very nice. And now we can finally continue on through here, which is the actual way we want to go. And not much in this scene, but yeah, let's head off there. Door in the distance. And here we get a spiral staircase. What is with spiral staircases in video games? There's so many of them. Here we have nothing. Too busy talking, not paying attention to where I'm going. Nothing in that one. This one is not empty. This one is pretty cool. Interesting item anyway. Okay. Yeah, there's no more new enemies in here. We've seen them all. But here in this destroyed city that was destroyed during the Dragon campaign, we get Rose's hairband. Now, nobody, of course, questions the fact that we just picked up an item that belonged to Rose, though I don't know how we would know other than the fact that the game tells us that it belonged to Rose, considering I doubt it has her name on it. Rose is the only one who can equip it, and it's a piece of headgear that isn't particularly good for stat-wise, but it avoids instant death, which means that now we have 3 instant death protection items as long as we're using Rose in our party. So that can be useful if you're trying to avoid instant death. For the most part, I won't be using that. The Phoenix Blooms are much better for most encounters. So you basically don't need to carry around mind purifiers anymore. Body purifiers I dumped a little while ago. Skip this door for now. And let's head into this one over here to get the final item of this area. We get a spirit potion. Whoop-de-doo! I will probably be selling that at some point. Speaking of selling things, let's just go over my item list at this point. The upcoming area, we're not going to be able to sell items, and there are a lot of items to get there. So I've sold a few things off screen that I didn't want to keep. I sold an extra healing breeze. I think I sold an extra healing fog. I sold one of my angel's prayers. I sold my sun rhapsody. I sold pretty much all of the attack items I had left, and my mind purifiers. Don't need those anymore. And we can keep this for now, but I'll probably end up having to dump it to get items later. I think there are 8 new items in the next area that we'll get before we can get to a shop. So make sure you at least have room for those. Some of them are useful. We can pick up another healing fog, another healing rain, and another healing breeze, which is why I tossed the breeze and the fog earlier. Healing rains you'll never want to toss because they're just absolutely the best healing item in the game. We'll also get another Moon Serenade and a Sun Rhapsody. And yeah, so I want to keep the Poison Needle. You guys don't need to. I'm just going to keep it to show off a certain battle, show you at least the strategy for trying to take them out. But that's pretty much it. As far as we have here, let's move on. Okay. No more battles. Okay, fine. One more battle. Now no more battles. Now we've reached the end. Make sure you've saved before coming here. Be a good idea. Ah, Shauna. We've arrived at last. Now we can rescue Shauna. But where's Diaz? Shauna, since when did you fly? Oh yeah, Dragoon powers. She lost those powers. How can she fly? No, it's telekinesis, apparently. Ah, Lloyd just hands them over. Or, well, I guess Dart hands them over, since he already gave them to Dart earlier. Lloyd, that is. No more obstacles. Well, we're an obstacle, aren't we? Release the girl! Release the Kraken! No, not yet. Maybe later. fine. Yeah, there we go. Oh, looks like she's alright at least. That's good. So, what do you want, Diaz? Or Diaz. I'm lazy when it comes to pronunciation of certain words, so sorry if it sounds off. What are you going to do with those moon objects? We didn't really hear enough from Lloyd. We heard a bit. Only desire is the advent of the final species, or the last species. Ah, Rose knows what's going on. Total destruction. Yeah, Lloyd, you were a pawn the entire time. So yeah, the idea here is the final species, the god that it is the god of destruction, the Virage embryo, the final species we desire, the true Virage. You're going to create the utopia that they wanted after the entire world has been purged. Yeah. So there's your big reveal. And Lloyd is being used. Yeah. What are you going to do about it? So yeah, Lloyd isn't quite as evil as he's been kind of put out to be. Yes, he committed murder multiple times, including one of our own, but he was doing it to achieve a certain end. He wanted to improve upon the world. So you could basically say he did the same thing of a certain character with very stupid hair in Final Fantasy X, or who else? Sephiroth didn't really want to do that, but meh. I can't think of anyone else who really wanted to do that right off the top. I guess Kuja. No, he just really went insane. Never mind. Anyway. Creation of the future, not the destruction of this world. Oh, and apparently Lloyd has been brushed aside. What are you doing here? That's a fireball. Wait a minute, how do you have fire magic? Are you a Wingley? Well, the guy that it took us, well, a reasonable amount of time to kill, and the guy who beat the crap out of us at multiple opportunities during the game, he just takes out without even really moving. That's not a good sign. But who are you? Only Wingleys have magic, but they don't have that level of magic.
It's been a while. Rose, Dart. Father?
So there's your big reveal, guys. The guy that we've been chasing after, whether directly or indirectly for the majority of this game, is Dart's father, who apparently survived death 11,000 years ago when he was Zeeg, Rose's lover. Now you can kind of see how Rose has had this thing, not necessarily a romantic interest in Dart, but she sees the comparison between Dart and, of course, his father. Yeah, he was the guy in the Dragon campaign video, which they showed a little clip of there, who was impaled by Melbuframa when he also impaled Melbuframa, and they both turned to stone. And yeah, she's kind of just revealed that she's been alive for a very long time. No more use in hiding that. Now we get more plot dumping. I don't find this a big plot dump. It's basically the information that we've needed for quite a while to really figure out what the hell is going on in this game. Yeah. Then there was light. Sowed a seed to the earth. Created all species, the birth of the divine tree. And as soon as it falls to the ground, it gets squished by the giants that are already walking around the planet. No. But, yeah. So they fall to the ground, and we get, the birth of species, in this case, 97, the Gigantos. And then we have Minotaurs. This is the first time we've actually seen a Minotaurs. Kind of odd. Dragons. There we go. Humans. And winglings. And of course, all the other species that we've probably killed most of throughout this game. Born from the 108th fruit. So, yeah. So, Soa sowed a seed to create a bunch of people and other creatures so that eventually they would all be destroyed and redone again. So, a la the circle of life in a very cryptic kind of evil way. So yeah, I guess this could be seen as kind of a method to control population growth. And it might be some kind of a, what's the word I'm looking for? A comment on how society is kind of blossomed way over the amount of people that this planet can possibly sustain, at least, for a decent period of time. So it could be seen as that. I'm not sure if that was the intent of the, of the creators of the game, but you can read into it whatever you want. You separated the flesh and the soul of the god of destruction. The flesh was taken away from the winglies as the moon that never sets. So yeah, they've mentioned this a couple of times before in different words, but yeah, the moon itself is the god of destruction. The entire moon. There's a Transformers reference in here somewhere, but I didn't watch a lot of the old Transformers, so... What is it? Unicron? I don't know. My buddy would spend half an hour explaining it to you, but he's not here, so... Too bad. The soul was captured in the crystal sphere, and Melbufrema kept it. Oh, so that's their source of power. They took the soul of the god of destruction, captured it, and then siphoned off its magical power. No wonder they were able to conquer everyone. Humans arose with dragons in front, and we took them down. Ah, you notice that? He kind of steps up on the word human. That's kind of weird. Probably not important. Spell of petrification cast by Melbufrema captured both of them, really. Waited 11,000 years. Released from captivity. So yeah, basically he survived forever, but it just took about, 10,900 some odd years in order for the spell to dissolve, meaning that now, I don't think he has the same immortality thing going on as Rose does, considering she's lived actively for 11,000 years, but he's still around, and yeah, I don't think they ever mention anything about that. And that tragic day in Neat. What happened? We thought you were dead anyway. How did this play out? You gonna go into more flashbacks? No? Yeah, there's your big reveal. But that's not all. Humans made a mistake. What kind of mistake? They destroyed the crystal sphere, the container of the soul, when they destroyed the royal capital of Cape Dessa, which of course we've been to. It could now be born. The soul was free. It started to wander, and they forgot a period after wander. Oh well, or they forgot a space after the period after wander. So where is this soul now? A soul without a body possesses a human body and tries to head to the moon that never sets by repeating the transmigration every 108 years. Is the moon child. Oh, so that would explain why every 108 years the moon glows red and the moon child searches it out. But every 108 years, when that happens, we don't get the Moonchild, or at least no one thought so because we never saw it. The Moonchild gets destroyed by the Black Monster every 108 years. A holy blessing to the world. Yeah, so basically they're playing semantics. A holy blessing is destruction. Yeah, that's kind of an evil thing to do, but oh well. This is the fate that rules the future of the world. One Dragoon who found out about it. Well, who? She has had to kill the moon children. Wait. Stopping her own time. Wait a minute. Called a demon. There's your other big reveal, and probably the main big reveal of this entire thing. Rose is the Black Monster. Now you can kind of see back through all the conversations throughout the game, which you may or may not remember depending on how many times you've played the game or how good your memory is. But yeah, every time Dart has gone off on a tangent about hating the Black Monster, we always get some ellipses from Rose or questions or anything to kind of detract from his hatred because she doesn't want to be hated. But yeah, Rose is the Black Monster, whether Dart believes it at this point or not. And there's the confirmation from the woman herself. Servants of the God of Destruction. So, yeah. Now, here's the question. 18 years ago in Neat, Rose, the Black Monster, came. She destroyed everything. And yet she didn't recognize Zeke, and he managed to escape death then. Well, there is a bit of explanation on that, but I'm going to wait until a little later because it would kind of spoil something to talk about. Yeah, why did you have to be somebody I hate? I liked you. Hey, wait a minute, we're supposed to get her back. No, you can't take her. One more. More revelations? Oh yeah, remember on the Phantom ship, Princess Luvia was supposed to be the princess on that ship. And it was thought by Rose, if you remember in the flashback where she talked to the second sacred sister, or whatever her name was, that she was supposed to look for this princess at that time, find out where she was going. She asked her mother this question, and she pointed out that she had gone to the ship or whatever, and so Rose went right after that to kill her. And if you notice from the fact that it's a Phantom ship, yeah, Rose was there and took down everyone. However, you thought it was the Moonchild, but you failed. So, you have a twin sister. I had to make that reference, come on. And who could this twin sister possibly be? Yeah. 3 reveals! 1 little scene. Oh, it's so awesome. I love the end of this third disc. So much fun. Yeah, Shauna, if you notice, her unknown powers throughout the entire game, her ability to adopt the White Silver Dragon very easily, and the only one to lose the Dragoon spirit without dying. Yeah, she is the soul of the Virage Embryo, the god of destruction. Now, the signet, this is something they have almost never mentioned, but yeah, the signet is like kind of a seal, and with dissolving that seal, the Moonchild will be able to merge with the moon that never sets and become the god of destruction entirely, flesh and soul. So yeah, we're pretty much screwed. Oh yeah, how else would we stop them from coming together? The only way that Rose, as the Black Monster, has been able to stop them for all these 11,000 years is to kill the Moonchild. How are we going to save the world without killing our girlfriend? Rose could do it. That'll work. Or not. Yeah, he kind of destroyed Lloyd. I don't think you have much of a chance there, Rose. I don't think you versus Lloyd one-on-one would end very well for you. Limitation of humans. Well, you're a human too. All is the will of the creator, Soa. You're talking like you're a god. And he disbands his robe there. No need for disguises anymore. Fate desires it. Okay. And they're gone. And that does it for Disc 3. Talk about an epic ending. And a long video. It's a lot longer than I was expecting it to be. Oh well. Anyway, that'll make up for yesterday's video. So anyway, I'm going to take a couple of days off after this, deal with these epic revelations, and then next time we will move on to Disc 4. Just like with all the other discs, if you're using the BIOS that I am, the North American version, you must save here, load up, the PAL version, and load the file properly off the memory card. You cannot transfer discs for whatever reason. Screws up every time. So anyway, that's all for this episode of Let's Play Legend of Dragoon. Next time we'll begin Disc 4.